Alright, what's up guys? Sorry for the fish tank in the background and a new place. This is my 5th place Fairbanks Alaska Regional White Forest Azamina deck, and I went 3-1-1, 18-person tournament, and shoutouts to Kazuo Pond, John, and Forrest, Sean, for helping playtest and helping build the deck and being there for me. Also, a big shout out to friends who are in my corner: Parker, Nalu, Natani, and Leah, for just being amazing friends and being genuine people for me. The list is 49 cards, and we'll go ahead and get into the list. I played 3 Ozette of the White Forest. I was on 2 for a while, couldn't find a 3rd, and amazing ratio, wouldn't change it. This is the draw magnet, and it does kind of hurt when they do draw you, but you gotta see it. It gets everything going. Next, controversial, 2 Ozette Azamina of the White Forest. People play 1 and it is really searchable and it can get your plays going. I like 2 just because I'm on a really heavy Azamina package, and so you reveal it in hand, summon 1 White Forest or Azamina. You can fusion summoning Azamina. Yeah, fusion summoning exactly Azamina. And also, if it's sent to grave a synchro material, you search a Simple Spoils card. And so that's why I like playing 2, is the search, and also being able to get bridge between engines with her into Azamina if I'm missing it. And so I wouldn't play less than, I wouldn't play less than 2, but I'm not going to play 3 because she's not a starter. She's a phenomenal extender into ending, end board. 2 is stellar. I think I saw it once, and I could honestly cut this card and I wouldn't miss it. It never really came up, and so it's also hand trap bait, so I don't know how I would feel about it, but I'd probably cut it. Off the tuners, 3 Sylvie searches her spell traps, recurs herself on either turn by put that as synchro. Wouldn't change it. Did phenomenal. More hand trap magnet too, but you gotta see it. Gotta have it. Ratio. Draw, I think, came up once and it was great, and I wouldn't change it. I would stay on 1. It's just another to help with card game. 2 Diva Star, the Buck Witch. I'm on 2 because incredibly heavy Simple Spoils package that I feel warrants 2 copies. And it's a hand trap magnet in the sense that maybe I do want them to interact with it, and so by doing that I get to do my actual plays, or I can save it as last card and get to Deception. So I could honestly think about a 3rd, but I think 2 did phenomenal in playtesting too. 1 D-Bells, the White Witch. Summons herself like a White Forest, dumps a Simple Spoils or D-Bell card from deck to grave, so plays her on draw, and then if I have 2 more D-Bells, my monsters can't be destroyed by card effects, and so that blankets my whole board protection, and did amazing at 1 Vengeance. Card did phenomenal as well, and was popping, playing through Fua amazingly, and I wouldn't change it. I would keep it in. I think it was shout out Tristan for getting this to me because it was about a week before regional. I should just getting back from a hiatus. Toon Queen Azamina. This is the controversial one, probably, where you're only supposed to play one, but it's a simple spoils card that revives itself, can recur simple spoils when an Azamina or White Forest destroys something in battle. And so it helps in ground games, and it helps you establish boards, helps you keep good in card economy, and I wouldn't play less than 2, or like if I did, I would cut it to 1, and because I would side out 1 going into next game, and that would kind of incentivize me to search another copy if I already had the hollowed in hand, because it go hollowed, make moo, the summons back, put moo back for hollowed, activate hollowed, fuse this off again, and so I don't really lose out on much. So yeah, just 1 or 2. 3 Deception, that's all the monsters, no main deck hand traps. All gas. 3 Deception, you can see it, heavy Azamina package, and it's kind of built around for my take on the deck, and the life game didn't really come up, and the one time it could have, I misplayed it. I made 1 misplay that kind of cost me top 4, and you know, that's on me. It didn't even have to be this, but I tried to play into it, and it was too greedy. As for the card itself, ideally you just play 1, but I want to see it because I want to get to hollowed or daggers. And this card searches any Azamina card and bridges between both engines in that way. You could cut to 2 or 1. 2 is because I want to see it, and or 3 is because I want to see it. And it generally ends games when I save it as last card, and I have them think I'm on the 1, and then I drop the 1 in my hand on the table after trying to search it with like DLL Star. So I would often open 2, and I would just fuse it away, so it bricked, but it wasn't dead in that sense. 3 Wanted searches DLL Star Black Witch or DLL Star Vengeance, adds from deck to hand or grave to hand, and also cycles simple spoils back to draw your card. Amazing card, cycling, giving you engine access, and then you fuse it away, and then you also cycle 1 card back from grave to deck to draw a card. So you gotta play 3. Wouldn't change it. 1 simple spoils of the White Forest. Another engine in piece, kind of. You pitch it, it resets itself if you pitch it to activate the monster effect, and I wouldn't change it. I never Guardian Chimered, I had it, but I was 9 out of 10 times just pitching it, resetting, and then fusing for Azamina. And so this card did what you need to do. It's nice that it resets, kind of like Queen. 1 Subversion for removal. It's out once, and yeah, I'll get seals and blue eyes, so I just didn't have to wait for that, and it was awesome. Cards like niche, and it's a little annoying to play with, but it's nice removal. 3 Daggers, the card nobody plays, and I like. It's quick play. It's hollow, but a quick play, and I can also banish it from my grave and reborn Azamina, but I only get to do 1 of the 2. It's one effect returning only once that turn. If the card breaks, you just pitch it for a White Forest, and then if they Fuwa you just set it, and you play on their turn. And if you have 2 simple spoils, that's a Saint, and then you go Saint, summon Sylvia if you don't have it, or you can go Mo or Regina. So this card did amazing, and I wouldn't cut it. I wouldn't play less copies. 1 Hollowed. Original draft was 3, and that was bad. Just bad. Ratio. You just need 1, and if I hard open it in a 49 card list, I just search daggers, or if I have both, I search Queen and I get 2 summons or 3. And so this card adds itself back. Card's phenomenal. Wouldn't cut it, would only play 1. That's all the Azamina. off to 2 Witch of the White Forest. Activation searches a White Forest, and then you're locked out of Dark some extra for the remainder of the turn. And so this could be like, if I start Azamina and they stop it with the interaction, I just go Witch, grab Diabelle's, special Diabelle's, send Curse, add Philia, so on and so forth. 2 felt good. That Dark Walk really hurts, especially on the heavier Azamina package. So it's searchable, but you want to have access to it. So that's why I'm on 2, and I never was like, I wish I had a third. 2 Tails. Gotta play 2. You pitch it, it resets, and then it searches whatever you're missing for engine. It is a heavy draw format, and this does play into that fact, but like all my White Forest stuff is free, and you know, that's the idea behind the card, but also it's just like, I love this card, and I know we're cutting it to 1, but like the field spell doesn't reset the way this does, and so I would keep it at 2. 1 Philia Diabelle. Adds a level or higher Diabelle monster from deck to hand, or if my opponent controls a monster, it summons it instead. And then, if it's banished, all Diabelles I control gain 500 attack permanently. Gotta play it 1 as a mandatory engine requirement. The new level 8 Diabelle's the White Witch, and Diabelle Star Vengeance make this deck's ability to play on both turns insane without Lewis. I'm not on it, and this card sets up so much, so I would only play 1. 3 Foolish Goods. This is to Foolish the Curse of Diabelle, the trap card, new one. This can also foolish other targets in the deck that in the list that I have, and it felt okay. It's, you know, it's really good because it gets me access to Diabelle engine, or it can get me access to like a disruption, and if you open multiples, that's when it feels bad. It's like it almost reads as just a blank card after you fire the first one, and it's like, yes, I can pitch it, but that's it. So if I were to like test, it would like maybe be fully cutting this and just adding a second trap to pitch, which sounds bad, but like this card is, we don't even have to play Curse and Philia, like we can just save field spell to search Diabelle's, so this felt very hit or miss. We cut it entirely, not just like go to 1 or 2. 2 Salesman, called Roll. You have a terrible draw matchup, and it almost, I want to say almost always goes to set 1 pass, unfortunately. This deck is amazing, and it's really fun to play, but draw hurts so bad. And Aga's like main deck draw, like when you sit down at the table format, so you always just, alright, I'm going first, draw, stand by main, call draw. Okay, I'm gonna get to play the game now, and I have no worries. Similar vein, 1 call by. Just your anti-draw cards. Only need 2 Salesman because you have call by as the 3rd Salesman at home, or Salesman is the 3 call by, and I wouldn't change it. I enjoy the card and testing it. Just call draw every time, and you get like a half board or a full board without disruption. 1 Talents, Quad Greed, or if they draw you, you just rip a card from their hand and you make it extremely hard for them to make it past turn 3. Wouldn't cut it, gotta play it. One of my favorite cards. 3, the Blackfoot Laughs. This is another weird one. You use this to break boards, so like call Caesar if they're on Fiendsmith and you're allowed to play the game, or you set it and like against Blue Eyes you call Spirit with Eyes of Blue, the Link 1, and they lose so much by not getting access to the field spell, it really gives them a hard time. And so like if I were to cut it, because I would open like multiples of this and like other 3-ofs, it was like This did something because I could pitch it on my turn, turn something off on their board, and then I could sack it and then call a really important name, like calling Necroput is insane into Fiendsmith because they don't really know what to do. Or you call Requiem if they go like the very first summon of a Light Fiend and they're trying to get access to the engine, they don't get the rest of the access. And so besides a lot of good application, and like maybe I would cook it to 2. But when it's good, it's great. Controversial thing, 2 Severa. This, in theory, it plays through Dark Ruler. You send a Diabell Star monster from hand or field to the grave to target face-up target on field and negates effects. And so this card does that. And like, I think I used it once for that purpose. The thing I'm looking for is the grave effect. If the opponent responds to the activation of a Diabell monster effect or a simple spoil spell trap and it's in my grave, I banish negate. So this is called by the grave 5 and 6, or 4 and 5. And this card won me multiple games just going pitch, summon Diabell Star, affect Diabell Star, and they're like imperm, and I'm like banish negate imperm, and they're like what? And I'm like, yeah, this will negate interaction. I was told to cut to 1, and that interaction, like stopping the interaction with this, is just, it was so good I went back to 2, and I never complain about this card. Because I can also just like hard activate Hollowed, like first thing, infuse this away, get it into my graveyard guaranteed, and it's just insane. And so you could play 1. I prefer 2, honestly. It's a hard once, and you only get 1 effect for turning only once that turn. So I can't like send multiple and negate multiple times, which is why I'm not on 3, but I have no complaints for 2, and I really recommend it. Just give it a try. 1 simple spoils Awakening over the Morian. Morian was just Book of Moon, and it's very easy to play around. This forces my opponents to play. It changes how they play. So if they have 3 more monsters, I target up to 3 more cards they control and bounce them. But they have to have 3 more monsters, and I have to have a level 5 or higher illusion on my board. Alright, I think that's the reset. Oh, no, it's right. No, that's correct. So if I have level 5 or higher illusion, and they have 3 more monsters on their field, I target up to 3 cards they control and bounce. And so like in testing, I could never beat our mouse player, but that's why I was testing into him, because he's a phenomenal player, and he really pushes me to do my best at the game. And so this made a closer game. And the moment they know I have this, which it'd be honestly be better if I didn't have to search it, because they'll play around it and they'll out it, which is, you know, it is what it is, and you know, that's part of the game. But they are always just like, I need to only have 2 monsters for the remainder of this combo, or my whole turn, until I can out his illusions. And so this card, I wouldn't change it, I wouldn't trade it for Morian. This card does amazing. And it also resets itself, which is another amazing thing, like Morian, but this card just does better, higher ceiling, better effect. 1 Cursed Diabell. When sent from hand or field to grave, hand or deck to grave, or banished, search a Diabell spell trap, and so that's how you get Philia. That adds the new Diabells, the White Witch. And yeah, you gotta play 1. Never Sog on field. You can always just pitch it to activate White Forest, get my Philia. 1 Simul's Archfiend, or Simul Archfiends, Deeper or Home. I saw it again. Friend was looking for copies, and I also had a few to play for myself, and I was like, wait, this card's actually kind of cool. This card checks link decks, and so it checks mouse in the main. And so I guess idea is like 49th card, I can Foolish Goods it at worst if I have it, and then Diabell Synchro it back. And I turn off Malice, and they just don't get to play the game. I never saw it, but I like the theory behind it. You could play Daber, yes, and it does hard counter a lot of decks' format, but you know, if they make like, I guess like a Cyber's, not Cyber's Wicked, but like a Splash Mage, and you flip this in a mouse matchup, that's their turn. Or like Blue Eyes, they can't end on seals. So I guess they make it to synchro, but this card really hampers plays. It's reciprocal in the fact that it applies to both players with control, and so be a little careful with it in that sense. I already have a fusion, I can't make another, and I'm on 3 daggers, so there's a little caution with this, but it was a good answer. Main board for Malice. Off to extra deck. 1 SP. Never summoned it. Rather, like, just happy I had it, I guess. I could honestly have cut it and not have missed it. Like, the one time I tried to use it, like, I lost that game anyways, so it wasn't game defining. 1 Doom Dragon. Just for the Poplar Synchro, and I never used it. I never tried to set it up. The game never lasted that long. And it could just be me trying to use it, but I could have played a different card over this, but the idea behind it is nice because it's just literally just free. But the Poplar Synchro also turns my monsters into spell cards, and then I have my next 2 activations of White Forest for free. Just card economy is crazy. So Doom Dragon is, I could have cut it and I probably wouldn't have missed it. I've had the card for like 3 weeks now and I've not once done it. So yeah. 1 Guardian Chimera. You play this for simplest spoils of the White Forest to make this on the opponent's turn. And this does outboards. I just I didn't really need it. I was doing so much on the opponent's turn regardless of this. Like, I was running out of board space and testing constantly to where, like, the board I had was better than using some on my board to make this. And so I could have cut this too. This would probably be the last card I would cut if I had to. Because, yes, it plays for itself and, like, drawing cards and popping cards. And it doesn't have to target face-ups, or if it does, I've never read the card, but it's really good interaction. It sucks under your draw though. It doesn't work under your draw. Off to engine. 1 Soul Erixton. On summoning, I target a card and field sent to grave. During the standby phase, I target a simple spoilers or Azamina card in my grave and add it back to hand. Targeting Deception. Like, I summon this on my opponent's turn, send something, and then add back Deception at the start of my turn. That's game. So you only need the one that's kind of situational because you have better targets that help interact better with the opponent on their turn to help close out games. But when he comes up, he's great. So I would keep him in. 1 Sylvia for the negate. I thought about 2. Because when you sack it on your turn to stop something major, you don't have access for it on the opponent's turn, and this deck is really good at setting up a simple spoils and having a way to fuse on the opponent's turn. And so that's the only time a second one would have came up that I missed it. Yes, you can play it back, but like if they base deal it, it's gone forever, and that really hurts. So yeah. 1 Mu Risiawago. On fusion summon, so you can't cheat it out with Moa or Saint. You search an Azamina or Simple Spoils card, and this card's phenomenal for searching just what you're missing. And like, I wouldn't play more than 1 because this card's phenomenal at 1. And the attack reduction is crazy on when I go really wide boards, because like I have 3 Azaminas on my field, they're losing 1500 attack and defense, and it makes it very hard for them to out. And also, when this dies, I just search a Simple Spoils spell card, and that's borderline game if it resolves. Just like searching twice in 1 turn if I have to crash it, but the searching on summon is crazy, and I wouldn't change it. 1 Molar Regina. Takes two simple spoils because it's innate, and it can reborn an illusion. And also, if a simple spoils or Azamina card or effect is activated, doesn't care which player is doing it or which board it's happening on. This can target 2 cards the opponent controls and destroys it. But it has to chain, and so you have to check for resolution of the card they're trying to activate, because it's has to be immediately after, and so if they chain something to their card, it will chain block this from being able to trigger. This card's crazy. In the mirror match, I summoned this on the opponent's turn, and they folded to it because they just set Deception off of Star, and so I would play it. Card helps with U-Belt OTKing by bringing back Little Set. 1 Saint. This card is awesome. This card makes board states incredibly hard for the opponent to do anything because they can't target anything on their field, grave, or banished. And they also can't target this. And it also has the random U-Bell reflect damage when it Azamina battles. And so that didn't come up, but summoning this on the opponent's turn and then going, I'm going to special Sylvia on your turn, I'm going to bring up Moa Regina. Well, I already have a Sylvia, and now I wait for them to establish some cards, and then I'll finally go, I'm going to negate, and then I'm going to chain Moa Regina to pop 2 cards. So they're losing 3 cards when I go wide like that, and so Saint's amazing for that, and I would never cut this. This card's crazy. I love this card. This card alone had me so hyped to like, okay, I want to take this deck to regionals. This card alone. And the Azamina. This takes 3 simple spoils if you summon it with Hollowed. Or I contribute a Saint Azamina I control 1 monster the opponent controls. And so this is just a kaiju. And it came up once, and my opponent was literally like, you play this card, like making it sound not standard, and this card clears the things that I struggle against, and it just, I don't have to think about it after that. And it's not like Typhon in the sense that like I summon Typhon, Typhon's the concede button, this card will give me a fighting chance, debuffs everything they control by 500 every time they activate a card or effect. And monsters with 0 attack can't activate their effects. Doesn't care if it's on the field, in the grave, in the hand, or banished. So this card also floodgates Blue Eyes in a way. I think that's good. I wouldn't cut it because it did come up and it did win me a game. So one of the Snake Eyes Vengeance Stricken. Quick effect. You target a monster on the field grave, either grave, and you make a spell card. And it's stuck there forever because I'm not popping it. And the opponent kind of just wasted that entire resource for the remainder of the game. It's mirror jaded in the sense that like I can't use that effect on the following turn. It's also a generic 12 that we can make with Poplar and level 8 we have. And it can also in the battle phase target a monster and a continuous spell and pop them both as a quick effect. And so it's also removal. I would play this because this card is crazy with the Star Vengeance on my board. And so you gotta play it. 1 Chaos Angel. You can quick sync into this or you can summon it on your turn and kind of nib-proof your White Forest half of the board. The synchro anyway. And also it's removal. And it protects your entire board from battle. The Vanish card's crazy on the opponent's turn. You gotta play 1. Gotta have it. 1 Poplar, the White Forest. On synchro or on summon. Chigagao or normal synchro summon. You place 2 White Forest from your back row, or from your grave into your back row as continuous spells, and so that's more fuel. In theory, you can summon Doom Dragon by placing or sending the cards you place with this. Sorry it's taking forever. I'm just thoughts and input. The quick sync is amazing. The placing 2 on the opponent's turn is insane. So, alright, gotta play it. Rest of the White Forest package: 1 Severa, the Book of Eclipse, 1 Arcilla, Engine, Bridge, and 1 D-Bell, Queen of the White Forest. Gotta play them. Insane gameplay loop that wins you matches. So that's all for the extra. Sideboard, 3 draw format, and or I sales ban, and it kind of conflicts, but gotta have it. And 9 out of 10 times there's a few matches where I wouldn't sales ban and I would just hold this and fire it, and I would end turns with it, so gotta have it. 3 Chaos Angel for Malice. No Malice players showed up, so I didn't ever slide this in. I guess it's better in the sense that it's forever, and it's also, if I pitch a White Forest spell trap, it resets. I wouldn't change it. I wouldn't change it for Lancius. 3 Thrust. Card's insane. Second, my opponent interacts with me in monster effect, I set a normal spell trap from deck, or I get to hand. And if I set a White Forest spell trap, I just send it to grave, or I just set my disruptions for the opponent's turn. Card Saga Simple Spoils in the mirror, and then on the opponent's turn I was able to fuse with it and make a really dumb board on their turn, and so gotta have it. Card will help end their turn, and it's better than Woes in that sense. 2 Lightning Storm, 1 Duster, 1 Evenly, back row hate, all searchable off the thrust, and we just don't want to have to deal with the back row. I think I sided in Evenly once and I didn't see it. That's, I guess, the confliction with such a large list at 49 main is like not seeing the cards, but I'd rather play with these than not have it. 2 Debury. By hard opening it plus like Thrust, it's better in the sense that like I can set another disruption and then set D-Barrier as well. And so that's why I was on 2. I was on like Woes, but that's kind of just prepping for failure. And there's no point prepping for failure and hoping you get trolled, which is what the sales ban are for. And if you're skillful enough at the list and like at the way the deck plays, you can summon from extra deck on the opponent's turn to where you don't. Yes, Woes does that, but the new Diavel sync, like Diavel Vengeance, does that as well, and so that's why I was just on. I kind of the idea behind not playing Woes at all. That's the list. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't judge. I had a lot of fun playtesting all week up to the event, and my one misplay was against the guy who ended up winning the whole thing, and it was just getting way too greedy with it, and this is a very hard deck to play, and so like don't get greedy and just really think about your line. Just talk, take a deep breath, and like the play was a lot more simple than I realized, and it would have kept me in top 4, but that's my one misplay of the whole event, and like I learned from it. So that's the list. Thank you guys so much for watching. Sorry this went way faster, or way longer than I anticipated, but there's a lot more unique things about this list that's not standard, and so I wanted to give my full reasonings on such a unique take on a popular deck that's been pretty standardized, but not completely set in stone as the ultimate best way to play the deck, and that's what I love about the game. So leave your thoughts, comments. Have a good one, y'all. Thank you so much if you made it to the end. Be safe. Bye.